The Crime Stoppers K9 initiative has provided financial support for nearly 30 local K9 departments, and this morning they're once again asking for donations.
They sure are. This morning we're joined by some of the amazing K9s and representatives to learn more about how fundraising efforts benefit the programs and how you at home can donate. We're joined now by Crime Stoppers spokesperson, that's Joyce Palumbo, and Officer Jeff Phillips and K9 Ryan from the Greece Police Department. Thank you all so much for waking up with us.
Good morning.
We really appreciate. Listen, we love having live pets in the studio. It is a highlight.
He's a good one to have.
It is a high. So talk to us about him. Tell us all about him.
Sure. Ryan is a 5-year-old Belgian Malinois. He's originally from Holland, speaks Dutch, and he's been working with me for about 4 years.
Does he know Dutch commands? Is that what?
Yes, yeah. All of his
cool.
All of his duties that we do and some of the jobs he does all have Dutch commands.
That is very impressive.
So do we swap back and forth with English at all, or we just stick to Dutch?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, there's a lot of the commands I give him are in English as well. You know, just a general sit as an example, but a lot of the stuff that he does is in Dutch.
Does he know when you say something in Dutch that he's really in trouble because now you're using the stern words?
Typically not in trouble. It's more of a game.
I
guess have some fun. Yeah.
All right, very good. So what kind of job does Ryan have?
So Ryan's what's typically called a dual-purpose canine. So Ryan is a nitrate detection canine, so he can locate explosives and guns. And then he's also what is called a patrol tracking canine. So he can do some tracking for subjects, whether it's a suspect of a crime or a juvenile or maybe an elderly person. Can search buildings, trying to locate somebody inside of a building, and then some aggression work as well.
So chances are, if you bump into Ryan, you're probably
shouldn't bump into Ryan. Yeah.
Probably shouldn't bump into Ryan. Yeah. What is it like? Because Ryan lives with you, correct?
He does,
Ryan
yes,
is your canine
unit.
Does. What is it like at the end of the day when the two of you go home? Is he still a canine dog at that point, or is he also, he's more your pet at that point?
So this dog in particular is pretty good at turning off work. He's able to go home, he'll chill out quite a bit at home and just relax with me. Obviously we'll go out, we'll play, we'll throw the ball around, but he's pretty good at turning it off. A lot of the dogs, they all have their own personality. You know, some are just kind of crazy 24/7. Ryan's pretty good, but that being said, he does not have like full range in my house. You know, he goes in with me and he's in a crate in the kitchen, and that's primarily where he stays.
Okay, all right, very good. What kind of routine does Ryan have in terms of staying fit, staying ready for the job?
Not a problem with him at all. He's just a go 24/7.
Wow.
He is constantly on the run. So it's usually me trying to keep up with him as far as the exercise goes. Yeah.
What's the relationship for you like? Because listen, I mean, just watching him here, he's an absolutely gorgeous dog, and he looks like he's got a lot of energy. And
thank you.
I mean, the way you just you waved at him with your finger there, you gotta love him.
It's, you know, the relationships with these working dogs and their handlers are substantially different than with a normal person and their pet, and I tell that to people all the time. A lot of them don't understand. It's a dynamic that's completely different. What we ask these dogs to do every day is just something that, you know, safety is always the top concern. So he's a great dog, he's a great partner, we get along famously. That being said, there always has to be a little bit of caution with him. Always need to make sure that you know what you're doing, and that we make sure everybody around us is always safe.
Right.
You know?
So let's talk a little bit, Joyce. I wanna touch on all of the fundraising you guys are doing. You're asking people to donate so that we can have more dogs like K9 Officer Ryan out on the streets.
We hear another one that we'll show you in a minute.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been doing this for a while with Crime Stoppers, and I remember seeing Ryan on an obstacle course. He is like lightning, just an amazing dog. And one of the things that Crime Stoppers does, we're basically a reward fund and a tip line, but the K9 program became really popular because we saw a need to help all the units in Monroe County, and we help them with extra things. So when they donate at the end of the year, it's a great time to donate. They can go right to our website, click on the red K9 link, and their funds will go to all of the units that you're going to see here today. There are 30 local teams that we support, and it's been just an amazing growth for the K9 fund.
It's a great point she brings up. If it wasn't for K9, or Crime Stoppers rather, the K9 units would have a much more difficult time having these units and being able to support them, whether it's vet bills, boarding facilities, all sorts of stuff. They're a huge, huge asset.
Yeah, I mean, Crime Stoppers does amazing work, and so do you, and you, Officer Ryan. Thank you, thank you both so much for coming in this morning. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, thank you very much.
Of course, we're going to have much more on the fundraisers coming up in just a little bit. We'll be right back.
All right, we are back now with more from Crime Stoppers and the K9 units, the K9 initiative, how you can donate to this great cause. We are again joined by Crime Stoppers spokesperson, that's Joyce Palumbo.
Yep, we also have Sergeant Shawn Edwards and Deputy Mike Ottley. We have K9 Ike and K9 Peak from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. You guys, beautiful animals. Oh my goodness, I know they each have very distinct jobs. So let's talk a little bit about the K9s.
So K9 Ike is a patrol and narcotics, so we call it a dual-purpose dog. And he obviously goes out and finds missing persons or any suspects involved in any crimes. But his specialty that he has on the side is narcotics.
Wow, and he is a Belgian Malinois?
Yeah, he's a Belgian Malinois. He's 5 years old.
Wow.
Look at you throwing around fancy words and facts like that.
I'm a professional.
Talk to us about Peak.
She's beautiful.
She is.
Yep. Peak is a 4-year-old bloodhound. She hails from the Adirondacks, which is where she got her name, from the High Peaks region. She has one job, and she does it quite well. She's a trailing dog. So she helps us find missing people, lost children, Alzheimer's patients. But she's also, to her, a person's a person. So if we tell her to find a criminal, she would do that too.
Wow. Very impressive.
What is it like, we spoke with the other officer, what is it like caring for these K9 officers? Because not only are they your work partner, but they also come home with you at the end of the day. What is that relationship like?
Yeah, we're responsible for him 24/7. We're also on call 24/7. So after our shift today, we'll go home and he'll go outside and he'll kind of be a pet. He'll run around and he'll enjoy the outside. He loves the snow. He loves hanging outside. But then it's also food time and, to hang out in his crate and just relax for a little bit.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit about the routines for these K9 officers, making sure that they can run and chase and track. What is their physical schedule like?
So every day, we try and get out there and do a little bit of work. If there may not be a K9 call for service, but we'll get out and we'll run them. We'll let them play with the toy. We have an obstacle course for the dogs, so they're familiar with how to jump a fence when necessary, to go through tunnels, which it's almost like if somebody was hiding in an attic. There's a lot of things that we want to make sure the dog's comfortable and that we're comfortable going in also.
How easily is it for them to switch into K9 mode versus, okay, we're at home and maybe I'm going to try and sneak on the couch mode?
Well, no couch in my house.
No couch, no couch.
They know when they're in the back of the car, they know they're ready for work. Right now, the way I'm hanging out and just letting them kind of chill next to me, he knows that we want to be a friendly mode. But what commands I can give him, what leash I use, what harness I put on, then he knows it's work time. And then there's different commands I'll give, and then we know that we're out there going to go track or we're going to find some narcotics.
Wow, and how about for Peak?
So Peak, at least for her, when I get up in the morning and I put a uniform on, that's when she's usually ready to go.
Oh.
Or if I get called in the middle of the night, when I open up the crate, or sometimes she does sleep on the couch, that's when she's like, okay, hey, look at, he's up, it's early, there's something going on. She's really ready to go, ready at the door. So she switches quite well. I mean, she enjoys her time off and her time with my family, but she also just loves going to work.
Joyce, I want to talk to you real quick. It's the season of giving. It's the holiday season. We know how important these K9 units are to law enforcement agencies, really across the country, but here at home specifically. How can people donate? How can people help out?
So Crime Stoppers has a K9 fund that we've had for about 8 or 9 years. It just exploded in popularity. When Sergeant Edwards had mentioned the obstacle courses, we have helped to put new equipment in there from Country Max and from funds from KeyBank. They have helped us to create these obstacle courses to keep the dogs healthy. So anything that goes to our K9 fund will help with veterinary expenses, training equipment, and supplies.
Perfect.
Excellent.
We will put all of the donation information for you on our website, foxrochester.com. 8:24 local headlines are up next.